What is up, my bodyweight warriors, and welcome back to another video, another road to one arm handstand, the never-ending grind, the eternal struggle. We're back. Actually, there's been a good amount of progress since I last made a video on this, and I'm going to fill you in the training session later. And as I've come outside, it's decided to start raining, but this doesn't matter. I'm going to do an outside session. There was a cool place on the beach that I found when I was training the other night, so we're going to go there, do some handstands, chat to you about some things, and then we're going to go to the gym, do a strength session, and then probably finish up with a sauna or something, and then eat lots of food and go diet and sleep for a bit. So enough rambling, let's get on with it. For those of you that don't know, and the reason it looks like I'm in a different location is because I'm actually in Santa Cruz, California. I'm in America. I've been here for the past 5 weeks. If you want to know more about that journey, I'll link my last video down below because that's where I kind of explained it. To get around, we've got the noble steed, which is the bicycle. I don't want to say about that really. We're going to go to a coffee shop, get some coffee, then we're going to train. It might still be at the beach if the weather permits. If not, we'll just hit the gym and we can have a commentary style video, and hopefully I don't suck at handstands today. Let's go. So we are at the very, very epic Verve Coffee Roasters. Brief warning, there is going to be some coffee talk for about 30 seconds because, you know, I love coffee, we're getting coffee, coffee's great. A lot of people ask me like where I actually learned how to do latte art and all these sort of things, and the answer is these guys. They have a series on YouTube that's really, really great by Chris Backer. I'll link it down below if you are interested and fancy on going down on a wormhole. It's fun to learn how to make good coffee. So on to actual handstand stuff. This is the road to the one-arm handstand. I've had some exciting news when it comes to progress with the one-arm handstand. I've actually seen some, which is a change. The last 5 weeks I've made some decent progress with the one arm. In fact, now I'm getting like 3 to 5 second holds on my right hand pretty consistently, which is really encouraging because just the same as with the two-arm handstand, the first 5 seconds is often the hardest part, because you're getting such little time balancing that it's really hard to make progress. It's like you need lots of little holds to make progress, whereas if you can hold it for a long period of time, you can learn to balance and correct yourself much faster. It seems the same way with the one-arm handstand, just getting the first few seconds, and then now I can start correcting things, I'm understanding how to balance it. I feel like progress is gonna go much faster. So it's almost like the finish line is in distance. I'm just almost there, almost reaching for it. So hopefully today I have a good handstand session and my balance is good, and I can actually show you where I'm at. If not, I'll throw some clips up of the past sort of 5 weeks of training. Also, I just picked up these mugs. Like, how rad are these? So since my sessions have been getting longer, I've been getting into the habit of having an intra-workout of just carbohydrates basically. If I'm at home, I stick in some bulk powders, BCAAs as well. But when you're training for like 2 to 3 hours, having something in between that's sugary, it's quick to digest, it does really help with performance. Right, so we're going to take a deep dive into some one-arm handstand training because that's kind of all I've been doing for the past 5 weeks, which is, you know, probably why I've seen some decent progress. But I'm going to talk about things as and when they come up. So warm-up wise, one of my favorite exercises at the moment is straddle to tuck. This challenges a lot of things, but one of the most important things it does is it works basically you keeping shoulders still whilst the legs move. And that's kind of a key concept, and especially more important when it comes to the one-arm handstand is understanding how to use the legs in space to balance, and it's something I've really struggled with. So I've been using a lot of those sort of drills to warm up, even like miniature sort of flagging positions or some different styles of flag. So for example, using like a single leg with the one leg hanging over. Just like, these are sort of warm-ups for me at the moment, but just like trying to keep my shoulders solid, but then use my legs to help create the balance as well. That's the one thing that I find that I'm lacking
I usually fall out of the one arm handstand because one of my legs is pulling me in the wrong direction, and it kind of feels that I need to just be able to have better control over my legs. My shoulders feel solid now. It's kind of, they tend to be throwing things off the most. In terms of how today's session was, I would say it's probably average, which I think is important to mention because out of 10 sessions, for example, with handstands, you'll probably have 2 that are great, and then 1 that's awful, and then everything else kind of falls somewhere in between. This is one of those in-between sessions. So one of my main focuses at the moment is really pushing the limits of my balance. I'm doing this by focusing on being super light with the assisting arm. So for example here, doing fingertip to straight, I'm just basically spending a lot of time almost balancing a one arm handstand, but I still have that slight element of support, but the focus is on making it as light as possible. If I do feel like balance is good and I can hold something, then I will throw it, but I'm looking to get like 3, 4, 5 seconds. And if I notice that it's a little bit less than that, I'm going to spend more time just focusing on being light in the hand before I lift. So for example here, I'm super light on that assisting hand before I even think about lifting. And then as you can see, I'm trying to use the legs to do that counterbalance. So there's a lot of like trial and error at this point. I'm spending a lot of time just trying, which is probably more tiring, but I'm finally getting to the point where I'm getting like 3 seconds as becoming productive. But I should mention that although I am just like trying things, I'm not forgetting about backing it up with just a decent amount of work. So although I'm holding like several sort of 2, 3, 4 second holds, I need to be spending more time in that position. So to do that, I'm kind of using different techniques like fingertip support holds, or like you're seeing now, I'm doing like shape transitions in fingertip support. Basically the idea here is to spend more and more time balancing on one arm, or one arm predominantly, as well as doing the short attempts and those micro holds with the actual one arm stuff. And that seems to be paying off really, really well the past couple of weeks, and it certainly feels like it's closing in. It doesn't mean it is consistent, and there's quite a lot of fatigue in this session. But one thing I did notice actually, I never filmed from this angle, and this is the benefit of filming. You can see here that my shoulder actually starts to rotate, and I'm really trying to fight that rotation of the shoulder falling forward. And I've been struggling a lot on my left arm. It just feels weak, and it sort of doesn't feel particularly comfortable in one arm, and it appears that I'm just not maintaining that external rotation, I'm not maintaining good shoulder position, and I'm trying to like twist into my one arm. So I decided to go back to the wall, because the wall is always your friend, whatever level you are. And I just wanted to use it as a reference and really focus on shifting weight onto that left arm whilst being really strong in it, and maintaining that good shoulder position. And then obviously doing the same with the other side, because you know, if you do one side, you got to do the other. My left is definitely lagging behind though, so I'm trying to do that left side first for a lot of these things. That kind of though wraps up the handstand session. It was pretty long and I was getting pretty fatigued at the end, so I kind of called it a day and moved on to some strength work, which was kind of a basic pairing. I'm keeping things super simple lately, simply because I've been traveling, so I don't know what equipment I have, so if I keep it as simple as possible, I can pretty much always get a workout in of some form, or I'm not going to be too far off what I'm usually doing, so it's going to be more consistent.
So we just finished up an hour and 45 minutes-ish of hand balancing. I was getting pretty fatigued towards the end, just like the consistent trying to actually give some a go, and then the shapes, coordination stuff just really took out of me, as well as flagging at the end. So I'm just pretty fatigued. Took like 10-15 minute rest, warmed up again, and then we're going to do some weighted dip, weighted chin. I'm just going through like a basic conditioning cycle, trying to get like pretty decent numbers on weighted dips and chins. I haven't done them in a while, so we're going to figure out kind of where the rep max ends up.
So weighted dips and weighted chins are kind of a classic combination, and for me, I think they give a really nice all-round level of strength gain. I like the dip because number one, it focuses a lot on tricep development, something for me which is kind of weak. I've done a lot of straight arm work, so my biceps are quite developed. I've done a lot of one arm chin work. My triceps tend to lag in strength, and also because it is a scapular depression exercise, there's that force of pushing the shoulder blades down, and because I do a lot of handstands, I'm used to pushing the shoulders up, so I find that dips really do help to keep the shoulders balanced. Weighted pull-ups, I mean, how can you go wrong with weighted pull-ups? It's just great, again, like you want a base level of pulling strength. Once you can do so many pull-ups, adding weight is the next best thing, and I think should be on everyone's program at some point in another. I basically regained my one arm chin up by just getting stronger in weighted chin-ups again. So that was kind of basically the strength conditioning. I didn't do much more than this, but just some simple 5x5s.
So inside of here, I have the box of gains. Boom. Orange juice, and then in here, this Batman shaker is 2 scoops of bulk powders with some almond milk. That's me, standard post-workout. I know there's a little bit of vitamin C in the orange juice, and this antioxidants can blunt the post-workout effects of exercise, but there's barely anything in there, and I don't know why, I just crave orange juice post-workout, as I think I've said so many different times. And then yeah, standard protein shake, get my bro on. I'll catch you guys back when I'm home and a little bit more fed. And we are back, not just back from the workout, but we're actually back in the UK. I literally arrived today. I've been editing the vlog on the plane ride back over. I'm feeling extremely jet lagged, very, very tired. I just kind of want to go to sleep. But I wanted to finish off the vlog as well. I hope you enjoyed this catch up of the roads to one-arm handstand, the kind of sporadic series. As I mentioned in the previous vlog that I will be coming back with some new series now I'm back in the UK and over summer, so stay tuned for those ones. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about today's video, why not leave a comment in the comment section down below. Whilst you're down there, you can also hit that thumbs up button and support the channel. Right next to it is that subscribe button you can hit and join the Bodyweight Warrior tribe. But that has been it for this week, guys. I'll catch you in the next episode. Have a strong week and peace.